Hi, I'm Abigail, a renowned slay queen, and this is the story of my life. Do I tell it all, or just a few parts? Hmm, either way, let me start from the very beginning. My full name is Chinomunso Abigail Njoku. I was born in the great city of Piper. Life was sweet until I lost my mother, Mrs. Sophie Njoku, at the age of 3. From then on, my father took over both the role of mom and dad. He did his very best, and for 2 years, he was my whole world. But by the time I turned 5, his new promotion at work made his job so demanding that he decided to get me a nanny, Miss Abimbola. Even though he was busy, Dad never forgot me. Whenever he had time, he took me out to beautiful places and even around the world for summer holidays. Truly, he was the world's best dad. Miss Bimbo, as I fondly called her, also played her role very well. She cooked, cleaned, washed my clothes, went shopping, sang me lullabies, and even read me bedtime stories. She was more than a nanny. She was my comfort. On my 7th birthday, I remember how she tucked me into bed and was about to sing me a lullaby when Dad walked in. He had just returned from a long journey. He didn't even change his clothes. He dropped his bag in the sitting room and rushed to me in the room. I jumped up and hugged him tightly. He whispered, "I would never miss your birthday for anything in the world, princess." Then he held me close and kissed my forehead. That was how much Dad cherished me. The next day was Sunday, and he spent the whole day with me. At age 10, Dad called both Miss Bimbo and I into the living room. His eyes were full of excitement as he told us that he wanted to start his own oil dredging company. He said he had saved enough money to begin the venture. Right there, Dad went on one knee and proposed to Miss Bimbo. To my surprise, she said yes, and that was how I gained a new mom. Life became brighter after Dad married Miss Bimbo. She wasn't just my nanny anymore. She was truly my mom. She loved me even more than before. I told her all my secrets, challenges, and even my wildest fantasies. She always gave me the best advice. No one could have guessed she wasn't my birth mom because she treated me like her own blood. By the time I was in SS3, I had a huge crush on a boy at school. When he asked me out, I ran straight to Mom. She didn't scold me. Instead, she smiled. Said she wanted to meet him. And when she did, she sat us down and gave us wise advice about relationships. She was amazing. When I turned 16, the best news came. Mom was pregnant. Dad was over the moon and immediately made plans for her to give birth in the USA. He was supposed to spend a few weeks there with Mom and return because I would soon be on holiday from my private university. Did I tell you that I was studying medicine? And I was in 200 level. Oh my God. But then, tragedy struck. The news came like thunder on a sunny day. There had been a plane crash. Dad, Mom, the baby, none of them made it out alive. My world collapsed in a single moment. The airline tried to reach out to me, but I couldn't even answer their calls. What was the point? My entire family was gone. After the plane crash, my life fell apart. I had no family left. No one to call mom or dad. The one person I could lean on was my friend, Alero. Alero was a loner like me, so we clung to each other. But unlike me, she had already chosen a path. Every weekend, she went out to big clubs, met influential men, and slept with them for money. She used it to pay her school fees and live a flashy lifestyle. I tried to talk her out of it, but she wouldn't listen. 8 months passed after Dad and Mom's death. I rarely went home for holidays. There was nothing to go back home to. No family. Just an empty big house. But one day, I decided to return to our family house to pick up some of my belongings. The next morning, I sat in my parents' room crying when our security man knocked. "Madam, some people are looking for you," he said. "Me?" I asked, confused. Dad and Mom had never introduced me to anyone important. "Yes, ma." They said they are staff of Ultimate Bank. I wiped my tears and went outside. A woman stepped forward and introduced herself and her colleagues. "Are you related to the deceased, Mr. Njoko?" she asked. "I'm his daughter. How may I help you?" She exchanged glances with the others before saying, "We are here in respect of the loan your father took on the 21st of March, 2005. My heart stopped. That was 4 months before Dad's death. "He hasn't repaid the loan," she continued, "and he used his house, company, and 1 acre of land as collateral." "No!" I screamed. They showed me the documents, and my hands shook when I saw Dad's signature. He had taken a loan of 700 million naira. Oh my God! I broke down in tears as my security man rushed to hold me. "Sorry about this, madam," the bank official said coldly. "You are hereby given a 2 weeks ultimatum to vacate these premises. You may only take your clothes. Everything else belongs to the bank." "What about my car?" I asked in disbelief. "Everything inside is ours, except the humans." And with that, they left. I was frozen. 2 weeks? Just 2 weeks? And everything my parents worked for would be gone? I was only in 300 level studying medicine. I hadn't even gone halfway. God, what do? I cried, hitting my laps. I must finish school and become a doctor. Desperation filled me. I rushed to Mom's closet, scattering everything, pulling out gold jewelry, shoes, clothes, anything I could sell. I did the same in Dad's room, and even in mine. Paintings, figurines, dishware. I stripped the house bare. But where would I sell them? Then I remembered Idris, our security man. Surely he would know. With his help, I sold everything within a week. I had just enough to cover my school fees for 2 sessions. I gave Idris his commission, packed my clothes, and left the house, though I still had 4 days left before the bank's deadline. I moved in with Alero, and that was the beginning of a new chapter of my life. Life with Alero wasn't easy, but it was all I had. My parents were gone, the bank had seized everything, and now it was just me. One night, Alero insisted I followed her to the club. I didn't want to, but she forced me. Inside, she was already dancing with a man, while I sat quietly at a corner, sipping water and scrolling through my phone. That was when I felt someone beside me. I turned, and my breath caught. It was the finest man I had ever seen. His smile was disarming, his dentition perfect, and his pointed nose made me blush. "Hi," he said, stretching out his hand. "I'm Jake, and you are?" "Hello, I'm Nansa," I replied, trying hard not to smile too much. "Can I talk to you for a bit?" he asked. "Okay." We ended up chatting all night. For the first time in a long while, I forgot my problems. Then, Alero came. I'm leaving with a client. I'll be back by morning, she said. What? How do you expect me to find my way back to the hostel? I asked. She winked. Your new friend can drop you, and before I could argue, she was gone. I called her over and over, but she kept busy in my call. Tears stung my eyes. Why would you do this to me, Alero? Jake handed me a handkerchief. Don't worry, I'll drop you off at school, he offered gently. I had no choice. Thankfully, he brought me to the school gate safely. I would like to see you again, he said confidently. Okay, I smiled. After all, he had helped me. We exchanged contacts, and soon I was back in my hostel. The next morning, Jake called. Hi, sweetie, he said, and I instantly sat up. Sweetie? Since when? I teased. I thought we were an item, he laughed. I rolled my eyes. Item 6 or 7. He burst into laughter. You're not only beautiful and intelligent, you're funny too. Can I come see you this evening? I'll think about it, I said, and ended the call. That weekend, Alero dragged me out again. For the first time, I drank alcohol. Alero. One drink turned into many, and before I knew it, I was drunk. The next morning, I woke up groggy, lying in a room that felt strangely familiar. I sat up and looked around in shock. It was my father's house. How? The bank had taken it. Before I could make sense of it, I turned and saw a man lying beside me. I didn't even recognize him. Who are you? And what are you doing in my house? I screamed. He jumped up. Your house? You're not only a drunk, you're also crazy. This is my company's guest house. We just bought it from the bank. His words hit me like a slap. My father's house, gone. Tears poured down my face. He tried to console me, but then made an offer that broke me even more. Sleep with me whenever I'm in town, and I'll pay you handsomely, he said. I shouted at him. Did you rape me? No, he stammered. It was mutual. You were drunk, but you agreed. Here's your money. He dropped 2 bundles of cash in front of me. Shaking, I grabbed the money and stormed out. That day, something in me snapped. If I could do it once with a stranger for 200,000, then I can do it again, I whispered to myself. And just like that, I stepped into the life I had once judged Alero for. But I didn't go to just any club. I chose the high-class ones, the places where the rich and powerful went to. Soon, I was getting paid handsomely. My school fees were sorted, and I even bought myself a car. At just 20, I was already a big girl. One night, while I was at the club, I met a man who handed me his complimentary card. His aura spoke power. When I got back to the hostel and showed Alero, she screamed, "Babe, do you know who this man is? You've hit a jackpot too." I smiled and tucked the card away. I'll call him when I'm ready, I said. And when I did, guess what? He invited me to his hotel. We had fun, and he gave me 5 million naira. Hey, my eyes widened. Jackpot indeed. He asked me to be his girlfriend, and I agreed. His name? David Chima, one of the most popular billionaire businessmen in the country. He pampered me endlessly. He gave me a new house, a brand new RAV4 in my name. And after graduation, he proposed to me with a diamond ring. Alero was overjoyed. You should be thanking me. I introduced you to this lifestyle. See where you are now. married to a billionaire. I laughed and forgave her past betrayals. After all, she had stood by me through it all. For the first time, I visited David Chima's mansion. Calling it a mansion is an understatement. It was like a small city. From the gate to the house was a journey. He had a basketball court, a football pitch, and a cat that ferried people around the compound. He gave me a tour, and I was overwhelmed. Then we stepped inside, and it truly felt like paradise. His staff bowed, greeting me. Welcome, ma. Welcome, ma. I was embarrassed at the attention. Later that evening, David excused himself and went upstairs. Less than 30 minutes later, he rushed back down. But what I saw shocked me.